Okay, so we discussed this project types and we went through like what are the options we can enable on a project type like chargeable, billable, capitalizable, burdening, and all, right? Those things we discussed on the last call. So today, let us discuss all the dependent configurations, what all we need. So these periods and all we already have discussed. Now the couple of configuration which are required to configure the project types are like revenue categories, expenditure categories, expenditure type, work type. We discussed like it's not required. It's an optional configuration, and we had a brief discussion about this. Then let's start this. Okay,
Can we
this.
go? Okay, so you say from okay, sorry. On the under the project foundation, if you go on the
Mhm.
top to bottom, yeah. So let's
This
see what.
calendar we discussed, right? This accounting calendars.
Yeah.
So what we discussed is right. The accounting calendar for PPM and for the GL would be the same.
Okay.
So in a very rare scenario, we'll have different calendars.
Okay.
So those things we discussed already. It's a
Correct.
conceptual thing. So
Correct.
in most of the implementation, what we would see the periods will be same. Whatever calendar we define in the GL, the same calendar will be defined in PPM. The PPM will be also using the same calendar. It will be no different from GL. Okay. And so these things we discussed, then we straight away discuss the project types because
What I'm sorry. What is the managed project accounting? Is it that's where we open the periods for the
no,
PPM?
period is something different. Calendar. So I'm talking about the
Oh, sorry,
calendar.
sorry. Okay, okay, okay. Period. Okay, yeah, got it, got it.
Period
Yeah,
will
that
be
one we never use. The second one you said no one uses it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Period will be again like the way we define period, like we open, close
Okay, so
periods will be
same as GLAP anything. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, GL payables and fixed asset. In the same way, we also have to open the period in project accounting also. It is called PA period, project
So
accounting.
you wanna open for the December because when we start creating the transactions, you definitely need to open that, right? You wanna check that
Yeah,
if
we
Cal.
can see what period is open at the time when we start creating the transactions.
Okay,
We'll see
that's fine.
if we want to open some specific period also we can do
Yeah, that's fine.
that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah. Okay. Now revenue categories. Okay.
So the revenue categories is something, it's a very simple configuration from the configuration standpoint. So it is required. So whatever categories are you seeing here, right? It is all Oracle defined. So
Mm-hmm.
if you see, basically what Oracle by default provides are billable expenses, direct cost, fees earned, fixed price contracts, indirect cost, labor, non-labor, and so on. So these are just to group, just these will be utilized to budget when we do budgeting, when we establish any sort of controls. So this revenue categories, expenditure categories, all these things will be required. And to be very precise, revenue categories will be always used to group the let's say in a real time one organization is having revenue from multiple sources. They are providing services to external customer, or they will generate revenue from there. Again, they will have some non-labor expenditures also, wherein they will be using non-labor resources, like in construction industry we'll have crane, the other equipments and all, right? Or other sources which are miscellaneous sources of revenue. So these revenue categories are utilized to group those revenues, and it will be used for the reporting purposes. Not much. So you can derive reporting, you can derive subledger accounting. So when we do subledger accounting, so let's say some client will have requirement like for such revenue categories the revenue account should be this, so we can group all the, it's basically it's a categorization of different sources of revenue. As you can see what Oracle has given: fees, direct cost, which is direct cost, you can say that cost coming from the employees, time cuts and all. Fixed price contract, like wherein we have a fixed price contract from a uh, from a customer, it will be like, it will be $1 million contract and we need to complete that contract in a year. So TNM basis, like in which time and material will be involved, like incurring employee time card expenses and different PO related expenses, right? So all those things. So it's a grouping thing. So we generally not configure anything additional to that. If at all the client has very specific requirements, so you can go ahead and create whatever we want. But all this what Oracle has given: labor, non-labor, and other sources.
So when
These
you
three,
said these are all used for the reporting purpose, so these
hmm,
are not used for anything like when we are sending the project to the contracts or contract to
no,
AR.
no,
No.
no. So what
Okay.
will happen, so everything is driven by expenditure type, which we will discuss now. So
Okay.
when you create one expenditure type, so in that configuration, we need to associate the revenue category as well as the expenditure category. So
Okay.
it
So
will
we will
categorize.
leverage. So we leverage these category codes in the expenditure types.
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
the downstream impact will be in the expenditure type. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So let's go to now expenditure categories.
Manage
So,
expenditure categories.
so
Okay.
in the same way, Oracle provides us custom seeded expenditure categories. If at all, I think these are someone has created some DI cost, DI could say someone would have configured it.
Okay.
It's up to us. So normally what we use: labor, materials, other expenses, all those things we use, right? We this RH what you are seeing, right? It has been custom expenditure category created by someone. Services, staffing, technology, transportation. So the concept remains the same. So expenditure category also drives the reporting as well as subledger accounting and groups multiple expenditure types. Suppose I have one, let's say I'll tell you about the labor. Okay. For the labor, I will be having different expenditure types, three, four expenditure types for contingent labor, for full-time labor, and also those two expenditure type I can group under the labor expenditure categories. Let's say material we may have different expenditure types, so we can group under that. So it's all for the grouping purposes, and when we group it, it will be utilized for reporting to drive subledger accounting, to drive your, when we do subledger accounting also, like if you want to derive the account for this expenditure category, for labor expenditure category the account should be some XYZ, and for material expenditure category the account should be ABC. So all those things we can interconnect with the help of this grouping expenditure categories. Okay. So it is about the expenditure category. So when we will now go next to the expenditure type, so we will see more about this expenditure category, how these are being utilized. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Now we will discuss the expenditure type. The most important configuration which drives everything, which drives, because you would know that whenever we create any transaction in procurement, in payables, or any upstream subledger, so we need poet information. POET. Po- po- Poet means project, O means organization, which is called expenditure organization, what we discussed earlier. E means expenditure type. This is what the expenditure type. And you can think about it as an expense type. Expenditure type or expense. The type of expense what someone is incurring on a project. and T is task. So these are the four things which are required to create any sort of expenditure, either in Oracle PPM or in subledgers like procurement, or in payables, or in expenses, or it is coming from any third party integration. So these four things are very much required. Without these things, we cannot. Without these things, yeah. So as I was saying, poet information, right? So P for project, O for organization, which we called expenditure organization, E for expenditure type, which we are discussing now, T for task. So till now we are aware of project, we are aware of organization, what we created in, what we configured, the legal entity we have configured as an organization. Expenditure type, what we are discussing now, task, which will be under the project. So one project will have whatever task we need. It may have one task, two tasks, 10 tasks. So these are the four important things which are required to create any kind of cost. Okay. So in here you will see a lot of expenditure type has been configured by someone, like, okay. So let's talk about this airfare. So airfare, you will see by meaning only, it's look like an expense type. So when I'm an employee, I'm traveling for any company specific task within the country or outside the country. So I will have this type of expenditure type. So it's a type, name, description, category. It will be coming under expenses because it's a just expense thing. Revenue category, other. Unit of measure will be currency, because if like any air ticket will be incurred in currency, like it may be some dollar, some Indian rupees or whatever. And there is a rate required. So rate required is something, a checkbox. Like if we enable this checkbox, we have to have rates defined for this, but for currencies and all, we don't do that. So we normally do it for very few expenditure type. Like if you see for administrative cost, the unit of measure is each means, it, like, let's say it will be two or three. So in that case, for one unit, what will be the rate? 100. Let's say it will be mostly utilized in case of usages. So we'll discuss those after some time. So let's stick to the airfare now. So the unit of measure is currency. So currency is very simple. If some employee is raising an expense of some dollars, some $100 or whatever, so that expense will be created against that project, task, and expenditure type and organization. And this expenditure type, that employee can be used because this is an airfare expenditure type. So in expense also, when we create the expense template and all, so there is a checkbox called project template, so that configuration has to be enabled. So it's someone the consultant who takes care of expenses will do that. Now the most important thing when we create an expenditure type, it is called expenditure type classes. So if you scroll down, so against airfare, you can see there are three classes which have been introduced, which have been added. One is expense report, another is miscellaneous transaction, and third is supplier invoices. So when expense report expenditure type class have been added, so what will happen? This expenditure type, someone will be able to see at the time of creating expenses. When miscellaneous transaction has been added, so let's see, I want to create any miscellaneous cost. I don't want to create any expenses for some reason. I just want to run a miscellaneous batch within PPM. I can do that. AP invoice, supplier invoices will be required because whenever an expense is created, end of the day it will be it will be imported to AP as a payable invoice, and it will be then imported to PPM as a cost, and then parallelly it will be paid to that particular employee who has created the expense. So this supply invoice. So in order to create an expense report and supplier invoices type classes are mandatory. Miscellaneous, we attach, like for some reason the customer says, I want to create the expenses. Like basically what happens when we do conversions and all, right? So in conversions, we import all the expenditure as a miscellaneous expenditure. So we just attach this miscellaneous transaction. So there is no harm if we associate one miscellaneous transaction expenditure type classes to any expenditure type. Okay. And then at the end, set. So set is like, so in this, whatever they have configured, they are using set specific country specific set, right? Like it is AU council project set, consulting service set. So whatever set we will assign, so all those set related project, it will be available. So we can use either common set. So they have used a lot of sets here.
What are these sets for? I'm just
Reference data set. These are the same reference data set. What we discussed earlier, right?
so
Reference
we created
data
the
set.
common, right? So we can use the common one
Yeah,
here,
we
or
have common. So most of the client go for common, but this instance has been configured in a way. So we will create some expenditure types also. So
okay.
when we
Let's create. Yeah, let's create someone then see. Yeah.
yeah, we will
Oh, okay.
for
We have to. Okay, we haven't done all the creations, right? We are walking through
no,
the
no,
topics.
we
Yeah.
are just
Okay. Fine.
walking through all the configuration. So when
Correct.
we
Correct.
create expenditure types, so we will utilize that. Okay. So one
So.
is currency, okay, and another is hours. So hours are basically used for the labor cost.
Mm.
So labor cost, let's say I'm an employee working on a project from a company and for a client. So I will be assigned to a project and I will be able to see certain project, certain task against that project and certain expenditure type. So in this case, what you can see, it is administrative. So administrative means it's some internal task, right? Internal expenditure type. So those, if you see the category, expenditure category, revenue category, and unit of measure are hours, and expenditure category and revenue category is labor. So labor means I need to put the time card either in Oracle or any third party application, and that cost will be multiplied, that hours, the number of hours will be multiplied by my rate. So let's say my rate is $100 per hour or $50 every hour, and I am putting 8 hours a day, so it will be around $400.
Where do you manage those rates? I like I
Yeah, we'll
mean,
talk about that. We'll
okay,
talk about
rates can be differ based on the levels or something,
yes.
right?
So rates can be differ based on the employee job level, employee
Correct.
designation, everything. So we have all those things. We'll
That
come to
comes
that.
from somewhere else. Okay.
We have rate configuration also, which will be configured in Oracle only. So right. So this administrative is something which is called labor expenditure type. And if you see the expenditure type classes, so there are two things: straight time and overtime. Okay. Straight time is simple. If I work 8 hours on a
Yeah, yeah, I
project,
get that. Yeah, yeah.
and the overtime, if I exceed anything beyond 8 hours, so that hours will be charged under overtime.
That, yeah,
So
yeah.
to
Clear.
answer, we do straight time overtime. Okay.
So where is the grouping thing you said? Grouping is happening here. Well, how is the grouping happening here?
So if you see the categories, what I was talking about, if I just type labor here, so if you see all these expenditure type, administrative, faculty salaries, graduate students,
Yeah.
intercompany charges, all are coming under labor expenditure category and the revenue category. So let's say I want to create a report, and in that report, I would like to fetch all the cost which is coming from the labor expenditure
Okay, I see.
category, we can do that. So the revenue, so these all are grouping mechanism to do reporting stuff.
But okay, that I understand from the reporting point of view. But then when you said subledger also,
Yeah. So sub-ledger accounting. So when we derive the accounts, right? So let's say I need to configure mapping set, which is a part of sub-ledger accounting. And for all this expenditure type, the account will be same. In case it
so
might
we have to configure all these expenditure types as a mapping set.
Yeah, we need to. If I'll tell you, if the account is same for all the labor expenditure type, so rather than adding all this expenditure type, what we can do, we can just add this expenditure category as a labor and populate the account. So when the accounting will be done, what will happen? It will look into the expenditure category as a labor and drive that particular account. In case it is same.
I think
And that is
that is
one
the
thing.
way you should do it, right? Basically, even if it is in a different accounting type, maybe we should put that under different category.
No,
Probably.
yeah, no, no. If it is, let's say, if it is different account for different expenditure type, so we can do at expenditure type level. But if it is same across the expenditure type for all the labor transactions, so we can simply put it under the expenditure category and derive that account. And the second thing, the budgeting, when we do budgeting, right? So at the time of budgeting, let's say I want to create a budget of $1 million for labors. All labor related cost will have 1 million expenditure, 1 million budget. So we can just select this expenditure category as a labor and we put the budget over there. So this is all to make things easy for the business,
So,
for
but
the
what is the revenue here? This is an expenditure, right? How is this associated with revenue?
yeah. So revenue category also, when we do all those, when we generate the revenue and all, right? So when we generate the revenue, so that revenue will be also generated on the cost what we incur, and the cost will be incurred on those expenditure type, on those point information. So revenue category will play a role in order to summarize the revenue. So
See,
when you want to create a report, and you want to see the revenue for all the labor expenditure, so you can just select this labor revenue category and you can pull that report, right? So it's a grouping thing.
yeah, but I'm trying to understand one thing here. How is, I mean, revenue is a revenue, right? How is the revenue related to the, I mean, how is the revenue coming from the expenditure type?
See, revenue, and in when we have a contract, so revenue will be generated. Let's say I am creating a project and that project has a labor cost, right? Labor cost which we incur on this administrative expenditure type. Let's say $1 million expenditure what we have incurred. So after the cost has been incurred, there are two things. If the project is billable, two things which happens. One, we generate the revenue, so the revenue will be also generated on that particular cost only. Okay, so if I open this Excel,
I thought revenue, okay, maybe I'm missing something. I thought revenue
yeah,
coming from the customer invoice.
no, 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 in PPM it's not like that.
Hmm.
I'll tell you. Suppose I have a project. Okay, I will
Hmm.
just give you a very high level information,
Hmm.
XYZ.
Hmm. Hmm.
That what you're understanding is from the receivable perspective, which is fine. But
Hmm.
what happened in PPM, because we have not yet discussed that billing part, we are still in the foundation.
Correct.
So we have a project XYZ and whatever contract. We have a contract. So in order to do the billing, we need a contract and a project. This project will be linked with this contract. Okay.
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
we discussed earlier, when I was explaining
That,
you
yeah,
high
yeah,
level
you're talking about enterprise contract. Yes.
enterprise contract. So this project and contract will be interrelated. So against this project, again I will have a cost.
Yes.
So let's say I'm creating a cost of $100 on the expenditure type
What it is,
labor,
labor. Yeah,
any
labor.
of
Labor.
whatever which
Yeah.
labor type is labor.
Hmm.
So when I am having this $100 cost, so let's say this cost is derived from the number of hours what was booked, 10 hours,
Correct.
and the rate, so the hours booked by the employee was 10 and the rate was also 10.
Hmm.
So when we multiply the hour with the rate, this expenditures, the cost will be $100.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the cost. Now against this contract, we have to generate the revenue and invoice in PPM. This all will take place in PPM. In
Mm-hmm.
PPM, we get the revenue and the invoice. So, how the revenue and invoice will be generated, it will depend upon what kind of invoice method and the revenue method we are using. So,
Oh,
let's say
I see.
time and
Whatever the actual expenses occurred, we are invoicing it to the customer.
yeah. So see,
Is
we
that right?
cannot
That is what it is, pretty much.
in time and material world. If
Correct.
I spend $100 on my employee, I will not bill only $100. I will be applying some rates, bill
Correct.
rate.
Okay.
So my cost rate may be $10 per hour, but my bill rate will be different. My bill
$12.
rate will be
That is also configured somewhere. Cost rate
$15.
versus bill rate is
Yeah.
configured somewhere.
So my bill rate will be $15.
Okay,
So
fine.
it's my bill rate. So my bill rate will be $15, which will be associated with that contract what we create.
So the
So
revenue
this
will be generated 10 times
yeah.
15,
So
150.
revenue will be 10 into 15, which will be $150,
That's
and
what
the
we invest.
invoice will be also the same, $150.
Okay, I got it now.
Yes,
Okay.
end of the day, my revenue and the invoicing amount has to be same. And after this revenue is generated in PPM, it will stay in PPM only, and it will hit a certain revenue account.
Hmm.
Okay, it will hit a certain revenue account, and when this invoice will be imported in AR, so it will be treated as an AR invoice.
Hmm.
Okay, so it will be hitting into AR as an AR invoice of $150, and in the AR again that revenue account will be knocked off.
Correct. From the PPM to, yeah. Okay.
So whatever revenue account what we have, so revenue will be credited in the revenue in the PPM, and when it will be hit, it will be imported to the receivable. The same account will be knocked off in receive.
Got it.
Okay, so the
But,
revenue.
you're saying here, just for clarification, is it AR invoice is getting generated directly from the PPM, or is it going through the
So
contract?
it through contract the invoice will be, it will be a PPM invoice. It will be generated in PPM, and then it will go through an approval, then we have to release it to the receivable, then it will be imported to receivable. So we have certain steps involved between PPM and the receivables.
I understand that, but my question is it PPM invoice after you executing all those steps directly goes to the AR, or is it go to enterprise contracts and then
No,
from
no,
there?
it will directly go
Yeah.
to AR. There will be no other model involved. Contract is just a layman term. If you understand, it's a contract paper what we do between customer and the supplier. When we have one contract in place, so we have all the agreement written over there, what will be the way the billing will be done, how the rates will be derived. So that on paper contract what we do in the real time. So in Oracle's enterprise contract, the cell type contract what we do, so it will be designed in the application. So it will have a supply, it will have a customer, it will have a billing method.
Basically, when the PPM invoice is getting generated, is refer back to the contract. It system refer back to the contract for the
So
billing
that
day.
invoice is generated from the contract and project only, because in the contract only we are defining all the billing terms, all the bill rate, all the rate schedules and all.
Okay, got it.
So that invoice will be that contract number, whatever we have, that contract number and the project number will be tagged to that particular invoice.
Okay,
And when you will go to the receivable, in the receivable also you will able to see the contract and the project task, everything. So
okay.
all the information will be associated with that
So-
invoice, which will be in receivables.
Okay, so the contract module is must.
Compulsory. So without contract module, we cannot do a PPM. We
PPM.
cannot use a billing through PPM. That
Okay,
is a
got it.
matter.
Got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Rahul. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, this is I'm just trying to understand the high level overall flow kind of a
Yeah, yeah.
thing.
It's
Yeah,
important actually, because if you don't connect the dots, it will be difficult.
correct. Got it. Yeah, thank you.
The dots are different. Okay. So I was there. So expenditure type.
Basically,
So
those are the three key modules: PPM, contract, AR for billing
yeah,
side
so
of.
when you have billing, right? So
Correct.
billing, in my understanding, what I have seen, billing is the most used module in in PPM. So
Correct.
when some client will go for billing, so it will by default involve everything. It will
Correct.
involve your project foundation, it will involve your project costing,
Correct.
contract, budgeting, everything.
Burdening, budgeting, everything. Yes. Yes.
Burdening and all are depending upon the clients, the way they do the business. So if you see in your construction industry, burdening is heavily used.
Correct.
But in tech industries, in professional services industries like company like Infosys and all, if they do billing, they will not use burdening and all, because they are heavily dependent upon the employee. So their everything will be dependent on the employee rate, employee expenses, all those stuff. Because so it depends upon the industry today. In public sector industry, this burdening is heavily used, because they will always have some overhead cost, because and they will get those reimbursed from the authorities, right? So it depends on the industry to industry. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's different thing.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
expenditure type
talk about expenditure types. Yeah. Okay. Next, work types.
work types we discussed that day, right? It derives the billability, so it sits at the high level. It's an optional configuration, so it is not required. I've never configured this work type
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
it.
We talked about it. Yeah, got it. Billable
It just
internal.
availability and all, so let's not get into that much. Resource project statuses. Okay, so project statuses is one of the configuration which is important, definitely important. So Oracle by default gives us multiple project statuses. Okay, if you see here, we have active, we have closed, we have draft, we have pending close and submitted. Okay, so it's simple. It's
So we can
simple.
add custom or we cannot add custom.
What did you say? We
Can we add our own status in between?
can add custom status definitely in here. So
But
there is
classification we cannot. Okay.
classification, which is something is the backend. Okay, so
Hmm.
let's say a project, the status classification is active, and you want to have some different name, active XYZ, you can add it, but the classification will be active in the backend. But let's say the customer is saying, rather than active, I want to see something else, activated. You can
Hmm.
put it here activated, but the class on the background will be always active only, because the system has to understand if the project is active or not.
So
So
one
it's
classification can have multiple statuses, like the way they did it. You see, active, suspended, active, active, active,
mm,
approved, active, active one.
yeah, these custom status someone has created. You can see the suspended, the active. So they would have created for their testing purpose, and also approved, active one, and all those things. So it's okay, because the classification is important here. But you will see But you will see most of the client they will not go for this custom statuses, rather than they will go with whatever Oracle has created, like active, draft, closed. So if you see closed, so and if I select this closed, so under the close we don't have anything. If you want, you can create any like any
I
custom
see. Okay.
state.
Okay.
So normally when
If
we
we add
create
it,
a
then we
project,
will see multiples. If we don't add it, then it will see whatever Oracle provided under
whatever
that.
Oracle is giving, right?
Okay, got it. Yeah.
So so the draft is the status. When we create a project, normally we can put it in the draft status.
Hmm.
So there are something which is controlled by the project statuses. Okay. So when a project is in draft status, so ideally we should not be creating any transaction or anything, because when a project is in draft status, we should not allow. If you see, all the check boxes
Correct.
are
Correct.
unchecked.
Correct. Correct.
But if you want to check it, you can do it. It's up
Correct.
to us.
Yeah.
But ideally, the business says no. If a project is in draft status, don't do any sort of activities on the project. Okay.
Correct. Got
When
it.
the project is in active status, so if you will see, you can do all sort of activities.
Correct.
When a project is in closed status, you cannot do any activities.
Correct.
When a project is in submitted status, you can do all the
Certain.
activities. It's
Yeah.
up to no. We can uncheck if the business is not. If a project is in pending closed status, you can do these activities. So it's up to the
These
business.
are
Is up.
not by these project statuses are not by BU, right? This is very high
This is
level,
this is very high level. BU is not controlling
not
this.
considered. If like suppose say, hey, active, but if I wanna do one thing in one BU, other thing in other
No,
BU,
no, no. Those
no,
things, those flexibility we don't have.
you don't have it.
It's at a high level.
High
So
level.
the
Okay,
project
got it.
and all, it's a high level config.
Yeah,
It's
got
a
it. I'm thinking through it. Okay, fine, got it. Yeah,
independent of BUs and all. Okay.
yeah. Okay,
So this is statuses, which is now resource classes. Okay. So resource classes are something which helps us to classify a resource. Okay. So the resource class, we have four resource classes in Oracle: labor, equipment, material resource, and financial resource. Labor is labor in which we are employees, will do hourly based work and time card will be entered. Equipment, as we know, right? Equipment, like any sort of equipment,
got
it
it.
can be because you would know better than like me. It's a construction world, right? It's a crane, whatever, ladder, XYZ. Material means whatever raw materials someone is using to like create one kind of any kind of building, any kind of structure, cement or stone chips or whatever, iron, whatever. So that's the material. Financial resources are basically what we are, you can say in a very business term. uh, Normally we do financial resource classification when we, like, what I can say, let's say I am let's say I'm doing this employee expenses, which is done in currency. So let's say employee expenses, it's a financial resources. For example, financial resources can be an employee expenses. So it's a categorization of the resource classes, what we see as a resource class. So it will be used in further configuration when we do planning and resource breakdown structure configuration. So at that time you will see how it is being utilized. So it's a just Oracle seeded configuration. And this project unit, what you can see, these guys have added already, so that's okay.
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 So we can create some and then we can assign it our project unit. Okay.
Yeah, so we can add here our project unit for all the expenditure
Correct.
resource class. Now Yeah, non-labor resources. So non-labor resource is something which is rarely used, okay, which is rarely used when, so non-labor resources are solely for equipment resource class. So what we see like labor, financial resources, material, and the equipment. So non-labor resources primarily for equipment. So when we want to build one equipment, so let's say the best example is crane. So that, let's say, a construction company is using a crane for like for some, for purpose, like whatever purpose, for digging or whatever. So that crane has to be defined as a non-labor resources, and that non-labor resource again has to be associated with an expenditure type. And in here you will see the organization also has to be added here. So which particular organization will be utilizing that non-labor resources? Okay. So if you see, for example, you can see a lab equipment here. So this lab equipment non-labor resource is created here, and against this we have an expenditure type called equipment, which will be whenever we create any cost from this non-labor resources. So this expenditure type will be utilized, and these are the organization on which we can do this costing. So it is very specific to the equipment class resource. So whenever we would like to build any equipment resource class, we have to define a non-labor resource. Fine.
Yeah, yeah, good. Yeah.
It's just a way we can build. Now the rate schedule, what we were talking about, right?
Oh, this is the rate schedule. Okay.
Yeah. So if you see, so this rate schedule is just as you were saying, right? We may have a rate depending upon the job,
Yeah,
depending upon,
levels.
so rates you can define for different BU also, you can define the rate. Okay. For different BU you can define a rate. So it is very controllable configuration. You can
This is a
control
billable rate or a cost rate?
anything, I'll tell you. So it depends. So after you, when you define a rate, okay, you can put a name. It's a, let's say, if you see AU council bill rate, AU council cost rate.
Hmm.
So how system would understand which is a cost rate, which is a bill rate, we'll talk about that. So let's talk about this cost rate, job cost rate. So in schedule type, you will see job, non-labor, person, everything. So when it's a job, so normally job is the most suitable parameter in order to define a rate, because employee name, person name, if you do, few of the companies they also prefer by the employee name, which
Hmm.
is a good thing, because my name will be my name. We can have two three employees, right?
Yeah,
So
you
that
cannot
there is
go by the name per. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
job
Billing
is
can. Yeah.
job is
First.
the basic, because
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I am a consultant, L1 consultant, so at
Correct.
my level the rate will be always same.
Hmm.
So job, okay. So if you see, if you come here, so under this you have to define the from date to date, from which date to which date the rate has to be applied. And this is the job name, council supervisor. This is the job code, this is the hours, and this is the rate. So it is
Hmm.
all coming from this job name, and all it is coming from the HCM, the employee configuration.
So these are all coming from the HCM.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't have HCM?
So I told you, right, in order to utilize labor cost and labor type billing, a
Correct.
basic HCM
Basic
configuration.
HCM is required. Okay, okay. Basic HCM is required.
If some client they say I will use any other ERP for SCM, I will use SAP, Workday, or XYZ, but I want to do billing and all the financials in Oracle Cloud. and I want to utilize this employee rate related billing. So the basic configuration, like the employee records with their job, with their grade, with their salary and all, will be required in Oracle Cloud. Then
Okay.
only, because I worked on a project in which they were not using SCM, they had Workday as a SCM application, but they wanted to do the billing in labor based billing in PPM. So what we did, we just had one SCM consultant. He configured all the basic stuff. He loaded the employees' jobs and everything.
Got it. So basic
We
Workday to HCM integration is required there to
Yeah,
maintain some little.
to SCM
I mean, it's
integration.
really needed even for our expenses, right? Oracle expenses also, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because AP invoices. Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing to know. Okay. Okay. So that's, but this is only for costing. These rates, whatever the rates below, we're
This
saying
is
is a
for cost. Yeah, this is for cost. Now, if you see the cost rate for EU Council, cost rate, right?
Mm,
For, let's say, for EU Council, we are referring to, right? Yeah, where's the rate? Yeah, for wait a minute, where we have got much job rate. Okay, job
yeah.
cost rate. So what we have seen for council supervisor, it is $50 per hour.
Correct.
Now, if you see the bill rate for the
Mm.
same council, so you will see it is different.
Oh,
It
I
is
thought
six.
the bill rates are maintained in the contract side. Okay, but no,
No, no,
everything is here in the
is the
PPM.
configuration. So we will be doing the configuration in the rate schedule only.
Okay.
Now, when we create the contract, so in the contract we will be attaching the bill rate,
Correct.
because all the billing and the revenue will be driven from the contract, and
I
the
see.
costing side, costing will be driven from the cost rate. Our
I
cost is here, right? So
see.
how the costing will utilize this cost rate? In the labor costing rule.
Oh, okay.
So in the labor costing rule, so they have not, so they have not done it.
Okay.
Costing it rate
Okay, we
exemption.
can do it. Okay, later. Yeah.
We need to associate like this.
Mm.
Just labor costing multipliers. Yeah, so now you see it is rate. I'll tell you one thing. So yeah, it is fine, it is rates, okay, because it will be so labor costing rule says how exactly you would like to do the costing, so it will be on the basis of the rate,
Okay.
which is perfectly fine. Now there is one further configuration: manage organization costing rules. So in the manage organization costing rules, we need to associate the BU, the labor,
Mm.
and then the rate schedule. So if you see in here, the cost rate schedule has been added. So whenever a cost will be entered for this BU on the labor expenditure type, so this whatever rate is defined in this rate schedule will be picked up.
Oh, this is where we are associating it to the business unit. Okay.
Yes, that's
Mm.
how it is being controlled.
Okay, got
Okay.
it.
Now we'll see this manage planning and
Yeah.
billing resource breakdown structure. So it is a structure, PRBS, what we say. Yeah, so this is planning and billing resource breakdown structure. Okay, so in this is something. It is all this page in which we will give the name and all the project unit and all what we give. So the
What
most
is this
important,
used for? What is the importance of this?
yeah. So this PRBS, right? This planning resource planning and billing. Planning resource breakdown structure will be, so when we do budgeting and all, right, when
Mm-hmm.
you either planning or budgeting, so
Mm.
that planning or budgeting we need to do at a resource level.
Mm.
At a resource level we will do the planning and budgeting. So what can be a resource, what can be a resource, we decide here. Okay, if I go to the next tab, so on what level you can do budgeting or a billing, we can pick it from this particular configuration. If I click on next, so what you will see, so what can be a resource? The expenditure category can be a resource. What I was talking about when you ask why are we using expenditure category? So
Hmm.
expenditure category can be a resource. We can do planning and budgeting on expenditure category level.
Hmm.
So all these options we have. So depending upon our requirement, we can check those options. So as of now, the most used things are expenditure category, expenditure type. They have not used it, expenditure type, because they wanted to do for expenditure
They
category
did
only,
based
which
on the job. Okay, they did job.
they are doing at the job level. So suppose I'm a consultant, so for I will do a planning on a project, and I can say for a consultant my plan should be $1,000, so that will be my cost.
Can you
Okay.
expand that job thing, or is just for
Yeah,
uh,
the job configuration, what we are doing, the job rate.
no, no, yeah,
Okay.
expand that left side, that arrow, if you can
Okay,
expand.
you want me to expand
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that one. Yeah, okay. Oh,
So under
okay.
job is, so under job is right. So job will have all these things. So let's see a job. So we have to enable this job. So on the job level, we can do person level also we can do, and the resource class level. So if I have seen multiple clients, they want to keep things simple. So they want to do the budgeting simply on the resource class level, which we have four resource classes, right? Labor, we
Can you
have
expand
finance.
that? Yeah, expand that and then see how these guys did it.
No,
This is a seeded. This is a
see-
seeded one. Oh,
this is needed. So don't go to that. Just
oh, these are
focus.
all seeded. These are all
Yeah,
seeded.
all seeded. These are not custom. All Oracle given, and you cannot add anything here.
Okay, okay. Even the include, exclude also the check marks also.
Yeah, no, these we can do. We can
Ah,
include or exclude whatever we want. So let's say for this PRBS, they have included expenditure category, job, name, person, and resource classes.
so we
Okay,
cannot create new ones. We can just leverage whatever you have, resource
because
format.
this all exhaustive list. So
Okay.
everything will be covered under these. Now we click next. So under this next, you will see. So whatever we selected, right? We selected the expenditure category here.
Hmm.
So on what expenditure category, if you want to do planning or budgeting, you can select here.
Hmm.
So expense is an expenditure category, technology is an expenditure category, what has been configured, and services is an expenditure category. Okay. And what resource class you want to map this expenditure category with. So as I was explaining you, expense can be a financial resources.
Correct.
Services can also be a financial resources. Okay. So we are associating that to with this. So in the PRBS, if you see, everything is coming under the same umbrella. Our expenditure type, our category, our job, our resource classes, whatever we have discussed till now, it has all fallen under the same umbrella. And it has been grouped, and all of these will be utilized to do planning and budgeting.
Hmm.
Okay.
What is spread curve?
Yeah, spread curve is like how you want to spread your I'll tell you, we have a
Expenses.
configuration.
Eh,
Go to that. How you are planning to spread your budgets.
Okay.
So
Okay.
normally we do it prorated even only. Prorated even, let's say you have for this month, this October, December, you have $1 million budget, right? So prorated even will be for that 1 million will be divided by 30 or 31 days.
So very high level. So you have a budget, how you wanted to allocate your budget, for what resources you want to allocate, and then how you wanted to allocate. Is that right?
Yes, you are
Okay.
perfectly.
Okay.
That's
Can
the
you drop down? Can you expand the drop down for the spread? I want to see prorated even. There, what is the
for
option?
even there will be.
or the
Backloaded, front loaded, bell shaped, even S curve.
okay.
So backloaded means, let's say you have a 30 days budget, you are creating a budget for October. So backloaded means initially you will do less budgeting on the initial 15 days, but at end of the day your budgeting allocation will be more. Front loaded is like initially your budget allocation will be more, and over a period of time it will keep decreasing. Bell shape, like it's like a bell, it will keep on increasing for 15 days, again it will decrease for the next 15 days.
Got
Even will be always same on a same day. Prorated even on day wise it will keep increasing. S curve, it will be like S. It will first increase, then it will decrease, again increase, again decrease. So normally what I have seen, either client go for prorated even or even. They don't go for bell shaped.
even is always like a static kind of a thing. Yeah,
Static kind of.
yeah.
Okay. So that's expenditure category. Under the expenditure category, we can add whatever expenditure category you want to add. Job, you see the jobs are added. So you can do the planning and budgeting on the
Yeah.
job level also. Okay, for this job I want to allocate this budget, xy budget for this job. Labor, for client supervisor I can do this. For council analyst I can do this, and so on, right? Person also is the same, like for this person I can do this much budgeting, I can allot some budget for this person, I can also. Resource class, what I spoke about, which is a very high level, right?
Yeah.
Labor, equipment, material. For some company they don't want to track on a very low level. They want to do all the budgeting and stuff at a very high level. They don't want to do on expenditure type or expenditure category. They just want to allocate a budget on a resource class. Like for labor, this will be a budget. For financial resources, this will be a budget. So they can simply do on a resource class level. So they can uncheck the remaining stuff, they can only check the resource class. So it's a flexibility. So this planning resource breakdown structure provides us the flexibility how exactly we can do the planning and the budgeting,
Got it.
or which resource. It's the important thing. Okay.
So yeah, when we configure budget, probably we'll know. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah,
When we create budgets and all, you will see.
yeah.
Now project types we discussed already yesterday. So in project types, whatever we
Oh,
have,
yes. Okay, project types. Yes. Okay, we talked about it. Yes.
discussed all the tabs. Okay, so all the expenditure category in the capitalization option, whatever expenditure type is a raw cost and expenditure category. It's a grouping thing, right? Yesterday, the other day we discussed. So when I say grouping, when you do this capitalization, you want to send the cost group by the expenditure category, so it will limit the number of lines, it will not send all the cost individual. So let's say I have 100 expenditures, and 100 cost created, and for each expenditure category it may be uh, two lines, right? So it will reduce the number of lines. So it's a grouping thing, so it will be used different way. So in asset capitalization also expenditure category is used. So that is how this system is built and configured, right? Now what is the now numbering, configure project numbering? Let's see if they have enabled. Yeah, so configure project numbering. So project numbering is something we can do either manually or automatically. Okay, so all these options are here. So how
Okay.
exactly you want to configure the numbering, manual or automatic? In this method option you have all those options. Either you can do it manual or you can do it automatic. Type, you want to have it alphanumeric or only numeric, you can do that. How do you want to in which fashion you would like to control the project numbering? It is controlled by It is configured by either project unit or business unit or none or others. So let's say I have created one project unit, and for that project unit only, that project numbering will keep increasing. So for project unit, what we created for Kuwait, so let's say the first project number will start from KW001. So next project will be KW002 and so on.
Got
So
it.
it will be controlled by this project unit. Okay.
Yeah.
So normally we do by project unit only because it keeps things consistent.
Okay.
And project templates. This is the most important configuration. So whatever configuration you have done till now, it will be utilized here in project templates. Okay.
So
So
what is
I'll
that used for?
so project template will be used to create a project. So to create a project, we need a project template. So without a project template, we cannot create a project. So project
Oh,
template we use to create a project.
so even you're creating the project either manually or using the APIs, the template is required.
Yeah, template will be always required. It's a mandatory
It's
configuration.
like item template.
Yeah, let's say how many templates have this guys configured. So it depends like how many templates we want to create. Some companies they want to create different templates for different type of project, right? Suppose we have a billable project, they want to create a template for billable project. For non-billable project, they would like to create a project. So
Yeah. Can you open
that
that
is
one? The template I
so
want to
I
see.
will yeah, I will open one project template here. So project template will have all the so what will happen, it helps us to create a project. So it will copy everything from this template and you have to populate very minimal parameters when you are creating the project as an end user. Okay.
Oh, great. Okay.
So it is the template name, number, which BU. So one project template can be created for one business unit also. It is always BU specific. One template cannot be used across BUs. It will be always BU specific. If you have 10 BUs, you need to create 10 project templates.
But you can also have multiple templates for given BU.
Yeah, for one BU, you can have multiple
Yeah.
templates. But
Okay.
what I'm saying, at one project template will be
Yeah. One.
specific to one BU and one project type. If you see, you cannot edit all those things. So
Correct.
this is the condition what we have. And the initial project status, like when you are creating a project, so in here you are not able to see the statuses. So either it can be active or draft. So when the project will be created, it can be either created on active status. So if you don't want to go for changing the status and all, you can by default put the project status and active. So the project will be by default created in active status. It won't be required to update the status and all. Okay. And this is the start date of the template from which the template will be available. Okay, all those things. And organization, so I was talking about the project organization, right? So any project organization you have to select it.
Correct.
Legal entity, the BU is associated with a legal entity, so that particular legal entity we will able to see. Quick entries, so they have not given any quick entries. We will discuss about this. The quick entries are something I will not do any addition in this template. We'll discuss when we will create the project template.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
So if I go save and continue, there are a lot of configuration in PPM, lot of.
I see that. I see that.
It's not like other modules. In other modules, you have set of configuration and you are done. But in PPM, there are a lot of configuration. Okay.
Yeah.
So the PRBS, what we have created, right? It is selected here in the template. It will be using for planning, reporting, planning, reporting.
As you said, everything you create and then come to this thing, template thing. Template thing is
Yes,
the one you do last.
yes, yes. Project plan type will be also associated with the template. See,
Okay.
everything will be
When you
associated.
when you configure and then when you save it, when you I don't know whether there is any deployment or anything here or it just save it and then use it.
It's save and you can use it. It's like other
But
configuration.
when you make a modifications to this template, it's not gonna impact the projects which are already
No,
created,
no, no,
right?
no, no. Those things will not be done.
Okay,
Any
okay.
modification you do on the template that remains. It's not the other way around. Like template is the
Only
is
at the
the
time of creation, whatever is there, it will take it. That's it.
right,
It will
right.
not
So
go back and then it will not update the previous ones.
and the other task, right? So you can by default add some task on the template. So when you create a project, it will copy all the task. So you don't need to
Oh.
create the task in the
But
project
we can
itself.
also add extra tasks in the project
Yeah,
side.
you can. So if you know, because if you see
Yeah.
multiple clients know for this BU for this business, I will have set of tasks. So what they do, they will add in the template only, and when they create the project, it will be copied from the template. Over time, if they want to add some task, they can do it, but it will make your things easy, right?
So this billable, chargeable here in this, what are those specific?
Flag. So billable, chargeable. Each task will be billable and chargeable.
So billable is going into the again that controls going into the AR
Yes. So when chargeable flag, where is the chargeable flag?
next to billable. I saw that.
Yeah. Okay, why they have not enabled the chargeable flag? Okay, so when a task is billable, you can do the billing on the task. When a task is chargeable, you can do costing on the task. But they have not enabled. I don't know why they have
Yeah,
not
you
enabled.
have to, right? You cannot bill without
Yeah,
costing.
without
Yeah,
charge. So I don't
got
know.
it.
So that is the difference. So billability and the chargeability is controlled from there. Okay.
That's good.
So I'll click on done. So now we can start configuration.
Okay,
So
that's
since
fine.
we have discussed all the important configuration under project foundation, so we can do some configurations also for the Kuwait project unit what we.
That's fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Yeah.
So the important configuration what we will have is categories and all we will not configure. Whatever we have we'll go ahead with that. Okay. We will start with the expenditure type because category as Oracle provided, so we will use that only. Whatever Oracle has given, we will not create any custom categories.
Okay.
Those are good. So we will start with the expenditure type. So let us create one custom expenditure type for Kuwait. We are doing for Kuwait. So we will just add Kuwait expense. The labor we can select expense. Revenue category also. We can, since it's your expense cost, we can select billable expenses. Unit of measure will be currency. Start date we can give 1101. Okay. So
Why?
now
Okay.
it's
We
up
need,
to us. You can
I understand,
go
but
for the back.
if we create the transactions before that, then that will impact, right? So only
Yeah,
one expenditure type.
I will create furthermore. I need to create the type classes also, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I will add here expense reports. Since it's expense related, I will add miscellaneous transaction. I will add your
AP also.
supplier invoices. Set, I will use the common set because we are going ahead with the common set.
What is the last one? Tax classification code.
So this is something tax related. If we you want to control tax also from
Hmm.
this expenditure type, you can do that.
Okay.
So the tax related things when we have tax involved. So this we have configured. Let us configure one more. KW labor will be hours. We'll go ahead with the same date.
Rate required, right? For
No,
that.
rate required should not be there. It rate required will be only for your each when we have this each thing. When the
Oh,
when the
okay.
unit measure is each, and for the other things it is optional. So that is not required. Type class for straight time, common set. Okay, so we have created two expenditure type, one labor, one non-labor. Now we will go with project status. Will not do anything. Resource class. So under the resource class, we will add the project unit.
So under financials, you're adding, or is it not? Is it unique?
I can add if I think it is not coming. Let's. I think it will be automatically coming.
Project unit is not common, right? Project unit is KW something, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Kuwait,
Sorry. Project unit. It was KW.
or is it Kuwait? I don't know. You may it's a Kuwait probably. I'll try to
Yeah,
the exact name
yeah.
once. I think I have
Yeah.
it. Kuwait. Yeah, it's a Kuwait. Yeah.
Expenditure type. We will have all the expenditure types. So let me add. It's labor, equipment. It got added to labor, right? Let's add to financial resource also. Okay. Save and close. Non-labor resources. We are not doing equipment now, so let's park that. If we have time, we do for equipment. Going further, we'll add that. Now let's go to rate schedule. We'll configure job rate and bill rate, which is important to us. So we'll do KW job rate.
Job cost.
Yeah, job cost rates. What is the currency of Kuwait? Some Kuwait related rate. I don't know what is currency of
Put
Kuwait.
USD. It doesn't matter. Put USD.
Put USD. This header is created. Now
Job
I'll
set reference.
should be common only.
Yeah, you have it there. Fourth one.
Now let us give the from date and all.
Yeah, that's fine. You can leave it
What
today's.
I'll give it 111 only. Job name.
What is the okay? That's the job name of the employee. Okay, what the job which is coming from the HCM.
Yeah,
Yeah,
rate we will give
yeah,
100.
just yeah, that's fine.
It is all coming from SCM.
Yeah, you can put couple more, I believe, if you need it, because if you want to create the transactions later.
Okay, just continuing with these two as of now. Is the job rate. Let us do the bill rate now. We did for accounting manager, right?
Yeah.
Accounting manager we put 100. So bill rate we will put 120.
And then the administrator, you can put 90 or something.
Let's put 100.
Put
Okay.
different number. Put different number from the cost. Just for variation.
Cost was 80, so I was putting it
Fine. Yeah.
100. Okay. Save and close. So the rate is configured. Labor costing rule, we don't have to do anything. It is constant for everything. Organization costing rule we have to create for the BU. It's Kuwait business unit, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's there in the down.
Labor,
Labor
it's
cost rule exempt.
the cost rate what we create, right?
White.
Let's do for non-labor also.
What is labor and non-labor? Okay. Is it like for who will come under non-labor?
Non-labor we have not created, right?
Yeah.
No, we have not created, so it will
Yeah.
not
That's
come.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Organization costing rule is done. So we need to create a
No, no, we did
PRBS.
labor costing rule. We didn't do organization.
That is what we do, right? Organization
I
costing.
thought we did labor costing, right? No, let's check.
It's there.
Oh yeah, it's there in the bottom. Kuwait business unit. Okay, yeah, you
Hmm.
did it.
Now in PRBS, we need to create a PRBS.
Can we clone one of those AU ones and then rename?
Uh, we can, but I think the project unit and all we cannot update
Okay,
because the
then let's create. Let's create it. I don't want to trouble. Yeah, yeah.
same project unit we can do. It should not take much time. I think this will not come. See, the resource class will be by default checked.
Hmm.
Enabled expenditure category, expenditure type, and job.
Yeah.
So expenditure category, we will do labor. Spread curve will do prorated even to labor. Which we can select for expenses, right? Let's be uniform with the name. Financial resource prorated even. So if you see the resource classes, yeah, it's safe. No worries, you save it. The same name already exists. What? A resource with same name already exists. Enter a unique value. What it is saying.
Oh, under the expenditure category, there is already. You did not create. Oh, we created that expenditure
Wait,
category.
I need to select labor here maybe. Sometimes it behaves weird. A resource with same name already exists in the resource breakdown structure. Okay, maybe it is conflicting with something. I'll give KW. It is free text, right? So we can do that.
Just tab it out. Tab it. Did you tab it out after you entered?
No, it is weird.
No. Okay, you added in the other one also. Yeah, maybe you need to change it other one.
I don't. Let me give one thing. I will save and close. Let
It's
me
not
cancel.
giving me the save. Yeah, let's start again. Save one by one. Yeah, it's there. KWPRBS is there.
Hmm. See, resource class, everything is there, which is fine. Now let me add this KW labor. I'm keeping it simple only. Let me save. Yeah, it's saved. Okay, now it is working. See,
Mm-hmm.
now let those expenditure type what we created.
Maybe that's the same name we cannot give here. I don't know.
I think that should not be a
Yeah,
problem.
let's try. Yeah.
Financial resource.
Yeah, because you created already under expense category. Maybe 111 KW
Uh,
labor one. Yeah, expense one. Let's see now. Yeah.
hmm. Job. You were administrator and accounting manager, right?
Yeah. No, it's there. Administrator was there in the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Okay, everything is there. Click on update mapping. Save, save and preview. Okay, whatever we have added, we can see here. It is created now. Okay. Project type. Let's create couple of project types.
This is important.
Hmm. KW label. Will to enable billing. Burdening we are not enabling here. We'll enable because burden schedule is not yet configured. So when we create the burden schedule, we'll create that. Now we are just creating one project type. Okay.
We can create one more for casting, or how do you normally, how many project types, how do we create it? Like, how many project type comes
So
in the
this
normal scenario?
is for billing, right?
Yeah, but
And
what are the other projects? Like, budgeting
for
also you have to create one for budgeting, you have to create one
budgeting,
burdening.
no, budgeting, burdening we can create, but since burden schedules we have not yet configured, so we need to configure the burden schedule to
Yeah,
add
create the
the
skill done. Create the skill done. We can come back and then add modify, right? The header portion you
burden
can create, right?
schedule. I can just
Yeah, like that.
do
KW
the
burdening project type, burdening project type.
project type. So we can assign some other burden schedule now, and once we
Oh, I see
create
what you're saying. Okay, okay. It's required field. Okay, you cannot just save it.
required field, so if you want, I can create that. There is no such hard stop.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, yeah.
what we can do is,
Burden
so if
and billing. Just say the you wanna create combined burden and billing then? Yeah.
yeah, we can do that. Okay. So as of now, I'm just assigning this
That's
one. We
fine.
can
Yeah.
create include burden on the same expenditure type. Yeah, that's fine.
And
Allow.
then you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have to do anything in the capital and then classifications.
Capitalization we have not enabled. So for capitalization, we can create a different project type. AW capital
That will go to AP. Sorry, that will go to FA, right?
asset. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see that also.
But for Kuwait, unfortunately, that asset book and all is not configured. So
Hmm.
we have to do for some existing one.
That's fine.
Okay, that's fine. That's because if you see for Kuwait, if I go for capitalization option, I will do it raw and expenditure category none. Okay. I don't know. I think that is not configured. I think so for Kuwait.
That's
So
fine. It will
it's
error.
good enough. Three project types. Now numbering, we will keep it
Put automatic man. Yep. Just simple. Make it simple automatic. Yeah.
KW Kuwait. Automatic prefix KW. Next number.
1001 or 10,001 something.
It is not taking 001.
Yeah, that's fine,
It's
right?
that's fine. Error, you must update one or both values prefix. Next number it is asking.
Two, two. The next
K20.
number should be two, right?
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Not the KW. You should remove KW there. Yeah, just keep two. I think so. Yeah.
A record with Kuwait project already exists.
Who created here? Can you wanna search it?
I don't know, it might be inherited from some other configuration. Yeah, okay.
Okay,
God
some
no.
created
But that,
alphanumeric. Yeah.
that's okay.
Method manual. What is this method manual?
No.
Oh, it says here it says method manual. Yeah.
Okay, now let's create one template also. So KV label project template. You select the business unit. Now we'll select the project type. Why it is not coming?
Search and then
And sometimes it happens.
maybe you had enter all the other information. I don't know.
It happens sometimes. It takes some time to see.
Yeah, search it. Project type. It should show up all the projects, right?
No, this is strange. Let me check the project type configuration. Hmm.
Or you have to put a date from date on the top level.
It has been given 1/1/2001. Right?
No, 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 not here. I think.
Sometimes it happens. Let me check what could be the reason.
No, on the yeah, I see everything.
Let me submit this process. These things happen if I submit this
What is this process we're submitting?
submit process to maintain project organization.
Oh, we
This is
need to do that. Okay.
not linked with project type, but I'm just trying to just run it and see it.
Okay.
And I might try log out and log in sometime. Project type is linked with only our what we say
Template
project is
bottom.
linked with the set. If the set is same, then there should not be any other issue because it is the common thing is common set. There is set and the business unit is also set. Project unit is also fine. Let us try now. This is strange. This is strange. It is
Types of
not.
are showing up for the same business unit, and then whatever we did it.
Hmm.
How is that nothing to do with the date?
No, nothing to do with the dates for sure. Now let me do see this configuration.
Is job completed? The job.
Yeah, that should be completed. That should not take much time. It's a project unit associated with the business unit. This is the tree. Mm, options. Common set. Everything is common. 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 Nothing is so different. I don't know why it is not coming. This is strange.
You wanna check the BU setup? Is anything to with the BU?
Let's see that.
We said I don't think you have any much information there.
Yeah, BU we don't have.
I think we assigned all the business functions.
Yeah, we assign everything. We have gone so far, right? We have done everything.
What are that below legal entity thing? You need to check that. Don't know. Because of financial reporting.
Yeah, those things are not much of a relevant. Let's not do that. It's strange. Project type we cannot see. Any? Am I missing something? No. Just
No,
because they have
that's about.
enabled the work type, that could be a reason. So since it's a KW, let's put it because these guys have enabled this. This is billable, right? I'm just trying to think because they have enabled the work type.
Don't enable for the last one and then see if that is what it is causing. Oh, you put internal. Okay.
Might be. Let us try. Not provide. Just I'm putting KW because I don't know it will come or not. No, it's not coming. That's strange. Project type has no relation with business unit and all. The problem is project type has no relation with the business unit. It
But
has
see, the thing is no, but it was grayed out only after you populate the business unit. It is graying. It is enabled. Until that time, it was grayed out. So I think there is some relation there.
these guys have created different sets.
Council, yeah, they enabled everything. Did he create a template? Can you go to his template and then see how? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
templates are there. We have
for his
seen.
templates. All the project types are convey showing up in the drop down. Go to project type drop down for his stuff.
It
For you,
is coming.
it does it has to have the same name, the project type versus template. He's keeping same name.
No, not really. What we have done the same. I have never seen project type related stuff. Just a minute.
We don't have common. We don't
Yeah,
have. We have created co-website.
yeah, not great. We have common only always. We have been using common.
But here, you see here, we did not check all the other options. This is a burden one, enable billing. Yeah.
No, that
Go
is
to
not. That
go to
is not.
classifications or anything in the classification.
Classification is a different thing. We have not discussed yet. We will discuss that later. Classification has nothing. This is the additional information DFF not required. Mm, is this something to do with the start date? Yeah, there is no start date on the project unit level also. This is strange why it is not coming. Does the user? No, data access is
Let's
not.
let's make sure let's make sure the project type again. Let's make sure it's active, enabled, and then linked to the business unit project unit correctly.
Which one?
Go back to the project unit project type again.
Hmm.
I know you went there a couple of times, but let's make sure. Okay, it's enabled billing. There is no active kind of a thing, right?
No, the project type we don't have any active or something.
So
Let
you don't have a
me.
business unit enabled. There is nothing called business. Okay, there is no link for the business unit. That's what you're saying.
This set is the link, right?
Oh,
So
common set
now,
is the
yeah,
link. Okay, because
hmm, this is set is the link only.
do we need
That
to
is
run
why.
any job? Do we need to run any sync job?
No, for project type, not really. So if you see, if I just put KW, just I'm giving this name.
Yeah, once you put the business type, then only the project type enabled.
If I put this business unit, right, it's not coming.
Then
Let me
access issue, you think no, right? No access.
let me put another business unit, AU Council. Now it is coming. See,
Hmm?
I just put another BU and it is coming. When I'm
Which
putting
one I'm
QI,
thinking? Common enabling.
project unit is coming. Why?
This is saying actually.
No error, nothing. Very much. Mm, I need to do some debugging on that.
Yeah, we'll check one second. I'm checking here. If the project type value is not in the LOV after selecting the business unit, the reason may be that after you select the BU, only the project units that are related to this BU will appear in the LOV, and the project type that the same set of project accounting definition is defined in the managed business unit set assignment.
Okay, what did you say? Manage business unit set assignment.
Yeah, managed business unit set assignment can be selected on the managed
Yeah,
business unit which be, yeah.
yeah, right. See,
We did not. What do we need to add here?
yeah, this is BU level. Someone has done something. See, some project accounting thing will should be. See, project accounting definition, right? Here I need to do it common set.
Yeah. What is that KWB you said? Someone did KWB.
Yeah, someone created and assigned it here. That is what I
Yeah.
was saying.
Yeah.
Some set relay because it is control from set, and we didn't do anything in this configuration.
Okay.
See,
Yeah.
okay, see this
Got it.
project account definition, this rate, everywhere we need to change it. We need to make it common. Our project accounting, do we have contract related stuff here?
Search with KWB you said. Oh, they said they did lot KW. Maybe we should have used the KWB you said.
Uh, we use
That's
com.
fine. Leave it. Yeah. So let's
That's
search with
fine. No, I'm just project related. I have changed to common
Okay, fine then.
project. So our project thing will be sorted. So I'm seeing any contract types.
Contracts
Contract,
and in AR.
yeah, whatever important to us, we will stick to that only.
Contract types is there, the top fourth one. Fourth one.
Contract type,
Then
and
customer
good.
also we probably need customer to later.
Yeah, all those things we'll see. So I
Yeah,
think now
yeah.
we
Let's
go.
select now and then see.
That is the only reason I believe. There should not be any further reason. Yeah, see, it's coming now. Can you
Billable.
see?
Yeah, I see it. Billable.
Thank God. I thought, I don't know what happened. That is what I was convey. I know there is nothing missing in PPM for sure. Some finance related. Okay, so this is that.
Work type. Okay, the work type on the. Oh, it's not copied. Okay.
Quick entries, right? So when you create the project, you can
So
put some.
this all these templates got copied, huh? Oh, all the
Yeah,
business budget forecast. Okay.
right, right. So the quick entry, when we create the project, we can provide some quick entry like project description. If you
What
make
is
it,
what is the quick entry we use it for?
so when we create the project, right? So
Hmm.
at the time of creating the project, when you click on create icon, so all these entries you have to fill.
Ah, okay.
So let's say I'm giving project description as a quick entry and I'll mark it as required. So you have to fill it. Otherwise, you won't be
Yeah.
able to proceed.
Okay, got it.
Given a quick entry. Now we need to add certain things here. I will add the Kuwait project unit, what we KWPRBS planning and save and close. I will set it as primary. Now I need to select a project plan type that I will select seeded one. Now I will go to task. I will just create one task for now, like labor. I will give end date I will give 2050 or 2030, let's say. Why it didn't pick? I'll create one more subtask, and that name I will give expense.
Expense.
Save. So this project template is now created. So now we are done with almost our project foundation configuration. Okay. So today I think we are good then. It's been 2 hours. We had a lot of discussions and configurations.